think it's the wind too. I was out yesterday and it was windy and cold, and then the wind stopped and it was just perfectly lovely.
Yeah,
And then the wind kicked up again. But yeah, when the wind isn't rattling through your bones, it
yeah.
it, it was kind of lovely.
Had a little teaser of spring last week because I was working from home one day and had the doors open and windows, and it was really nice. All right. I think we'll get started. It's 4:05 and welcome everyone to the February All Call. This is just a chance for nonprofits to come together and learn about what each other's doing. So oftentimes we'll have sort of a highlighted speaker, and today we have a couple, and I'll introduce them in a second. But if you don't mind putting your name in the chat, your organization, maybe your email or your phone, if you want to share that, oftentimes there are connections that are made on the call that people are like, oh, I need to follow up with that person, and then you can grab it off the chat and move forward. So with that, I will introduce our first speaker, and we have Mackenzie Tritt, who is with us today from the Mitsubishi Electric Classic, the big golf tournament that happens over at Sugarloaf Country Club. And they have been putting together a program this year that I think you'll be very interested in. We did a poll last month when we were on this call, and funding remains to be one of the top issues or concerns or areas of improvement that nonprofits in our community are seeking support on. So Mackenzie has some very, very good news for you today, in terms of a potential partnership that you and your organization might consider. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Mackenzie.
Hi everyone, thanks Renee. I'm Mackenzie Tritt. As Renee told you, I am with the Mitsubishi Electric Classic presented by Venture. We are a PGA Tour Champions event that takes place at the end of April at TPC's Sugarloaf here in Duluth. And one of the big parts, that the PGA Tour and that we work with is charity. So we're really big with charities. We have two main tournament beneficiaries, and we kind of scatter from there. And we've also figured out ways to help give back to our areas with just more than just those two main beneficiaries. So I'm going to share my screen and talk you through a few things real quick, and then I'll take some questions if you have them. So what we have here is I created this flyer. We have a couple different options as far as how you can get involved with the Mitsubishi Electric Classic. We have our Birdies for Charity program. It is closed for this year currently. We will start taking new applications in November, early November. We'll make sure to contact the coalition and get that news out to you guys before. But our big main charity or our big main program that we've been putting together this year is called Tickets for Good. So what that is, and I'll switch over to my other screen, it is a fundraising program that helps us give back as well as you. So it is you get a unique link. You are able to put that out and sell tickets. And then we split the profits with you 50-50. So it's a way for y'all to fundraise and to help get out there, bring money in for you guys, as well as us help us sell tickets. So it's a really cool program. This is our first year. We've actually gotten a lot from what was put in the newsletter a while ago. I think we got 3 or 4 of y'all signing up with us, so we're really excited about that. And it's just getting out there, and we do have main pillars. So the big pillars that we look for in who we partner with is education, special needs assistance, military, first responders, and then sustainability is a big thing with us too. So if you guys kind of fall into those categories, feel free. The link is on our website at Mitsubishi Electric Classic. You just need to go to the charities page, and then it will take you all into the forms for y'all to fill out. So stop sharing real quick. But if anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer, or I will turn it back over to Renee.
I have a question. We met earlier, Mackenzie, but it occurred to me when you said sustainability is one of your focus areas, what exactly do you mean by that?
So there's a couple different ways that we do that. Sustainability is recycling the mesh, recycling, a lot of the products that cans and bottles. That's where I was trying to go with that. But it's also just within it can fall into all our pillars too. So like sustainability, teaching people, if you're a charity with education and you're teaching, financial stability or financial sustainability as well. So it's a broad term that we work with, but it does kind of come back to a lot of physical, like how can we help our planet in a way as well.
And this is oh, is there a hand up? Nope, that's my thing. Anybody?
Oh, I can put the handout back up real quick. Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions on the timeline? I don't see any questions in the chat.
So we are still taking applications through March 13th. So there's still time to sign up. Right now, we do have our charities that have reached out to us already, and we have their information. We are currently building them their unique links that they will get this Friday, along with the social media toolkit. So with the social media toolkit is to kind of help you. So we do have some emails for outreach put together. We do have some pictures that you can use on your social media platforms as well. So this toolkit can just kind of almost make it really easy for anybody to help market this and to get your mission out there tied to Tickets for Good. So that is all taking place. People can begin selling our tickets starting March 2nd, 3rd. Yeah, 2nd, sorry, whatever that Monday is. And then you can sell up to noon of April 26th. So our tournament does run the 20th through the 26th. Competition starts the 24th. So last day to sell tickets is really noon, or else you're kind of missing out. But that is that's our timeline currently.
Great.
Is there a minimum amount of ticket sales required?
Nope. Nope. So however much you're able to, get out there and sell, we'll split 50-50 with you. The tickets that you're able to sell are our grounds tickets, and those are come in two forms. There's a weekly grounds ticket that includes all 3 days of tournament, and then there's just the daily any day grounds ticket for someone to come out for one day. The daily any day starts at $29.75, I think. And then there is also a daily clubhouse ticket. There's a weekly clubhouse ticket, and then there is our Champions Club. Those ones are a little pricey. So if anybody can sell one of those, you get 1,000,000,000 gold stars, because that is one of our premium hospitality venues that includes free food and drinks. So it is a little pricier, but we did want to make sure that that was an option for everybody if they're able to sell it.
So, I mean, many of you have board members or maybe business leaders that support your organizations. This is actually a little bit of a different twist on fundraising. Like, it's something that you could sell them, a higher priced suite or set a package of tickets. And I mean, they're doing a great thing for your organization because it's 50% back. And at the same time, they can take their clients out on the golf course. It's quite the atmosphere out there when they've got everything in full swing and the pros are out there and the weather is typically pretty good.
We've had really good weather the last couple of years. We did have to move up last Friday, but it kind of worked out where tee off went off at 8:30, and then we were wrapped for the day by about 4:30 before the storm came in, and everybody kind of enjoyed being in the on the grounds that day instead of at work.
Yep. So you might think about that and bring that up at your next board meeting, or take it to a couple of your individual board members who you think run circles with some key business leaders, or they've got businesses that would benefit from having the opportunity to network and to be in this type of atmosphere. And you could be a hero, not only in terms of fundraising for your organization, but also providing an interesting opportunity, a win-win for everything.
Very much so. It's a fun and exciting atmosphere to be out here and a part of it. I will say that it's unique, and it's always a good time out here. So.
Any other questions for Mackenzie? And Mackenzie, did you put your information in the chat in case they want to contact you? And the other thing is, could you upload your flyer into the chat, or did it go out on the exchange? Maybe we do it anyway, because sometimes people forget and don't read the exchange. So
I will get both in there here very shortly. I was just about to, and then you asked me to start talking, and I was kind of doing both at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I'm multitasking. I have a hard time with that these days as well. Oh,
Okay, then I will stop sharing and
great. Anything else for the good of the tournament? How many golfers on the call? I'm just curious. Who golfs in this crew? No. All right. Well, you probably have some board people that you know. Friends, community members that want to support you. I'd like to learn. I know, me too, Kamisha. I took a clinic last year with the chamber, and it was a lot of fun, but man, it's work getting that swing to go. the way you want it to hit the ball is a challenge. Oh, and Christina wants to volunteer for the beverage cart. Mackenzie.
wanna
Unfortunately,
drive
we
it.
don't have those on the course, but you are more than welcome to come out and volunteer with us. We do have a huge volunteer corps as well. It ranges from everything. Unfortunately, the bar card is not one of those things that has to due to liquor laws, or else I'd probably do it because it would be so much fun. Um, but we do have a wide range of volunteer opportunities, and I'm the person to chat with too if you want to know more about that. So I'm putting my email and stuff in the chat, and I will get you guys a flyer here in a second.
And Mackenzie, well, I know you didn't come on here to speak about this, but there used to be a women's, like a leadership kind of half-day event or something is that still happening? And is that open to the public?
That is still happening. I'm not quite sure how they're selling it, but it is on our website. So you can look at that. It is Executive Women's Day. It is Monday, April 20th. It is more than a half day now. It grew so much that they've been able to grow the programming for that day just a little bit more. I believe the breakfast starts around 9:30, and then you're kind of over at the convention center through most of the day, and then you do come over for a wind down and networking event here in the 18th Green Skybox at the end of the day. So.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you for being available, sharing this good news, and good luck on the tournament. Hope you guys.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Yep, and you're welcome to stay, or you can drop off once you get all your stuff entered into the chat. That'd be fine as well. Thank you. Okay, Tiffany Castro is here, and Tiffany, I'm sorry, I don't know your role with MAPS, but I did when I got your email. Went and read about your program and understand that it's sort of regional in nature. Actually, I think Gwinnett is one of many communities that you work in. So could you just tell us a little bit about your organization and then follow up and let us know kind of the key part of your conversation and your facility space?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm with Mothers Advocacy Project, and we actually service within a 35-mile range of our physical location, which right now is in the Corners Outreach building in Norcross, Georgia. So for anyone that is not familiar with our services, essentially the short version is that we run a trauma therapy program for single moms. We are running a relatively unique model in that essentially our theory of change, if you will, is that a lot of the cycles that we see from some of the moms that we serve that are dealing with poverty, a lot of the reason we see those cycles, we believe, is because of unresolved trauma that's not being addressed. And so we've created a unique program that allows them to go through a structured 3-phase trauma therapy program. But it is partnered with case management that is taking place during that time. So it takes them about 4 months to go through the program. And the entire time they're receiving both group and individual therapy alongside case management to deal with any individual physical needs that they might also have. So that is what MAP does. We moved into the Corners Outreach building in February of 25 because we needed more space. We were originally in Sandy Springs. And now that we are completely moved in and have been able to run groups, more groups from, the space that we're in, we actually realize that we have too much space. So, which is what led me to this call today. So we are hopefully looking to be able to partner with another nonprofit or two, that is willing to share space with us. We have reduced the price for nonprofits to actually have a space in the Corners Outreach building, which is a building that's already occupied mostly by nonprofits. So it's really like a community building, so to speak. And along with that space, so like I said, we have 5 offices that are available right now. And along with that space, would be, of course, access to shared spaces within that office, which are, access to a break room. We have a childcare room, and things like that, but also there are bookable spaces such as the conference room, our group room, which is huge. I believe is a little under 1,200 square feet. And also tenants within the building also are able to book rooms, that are also available within the Corners Outreach building itself as well. So there are lots of benefits to being in the building for sure. So I'll stop there and see if anyone has any questions.
I do see you have a potential taker. Well, at least there's someone who wants to partner with Matt because that's Christina with
Aurora.
yeah.
Yep. I'm with Aurora Theater. So yes, I'll reach out to you after the call and we'll chop it up.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, we if any of you guys actually know of another nonprofit that you think, we would love it if the nonprofit is also kind of serving our demographic and things like that. But if you guys know of any nonprofits or even any therapists that might be looking for office space, those would kind of be ideal for us. But we're open to to kind of who has interest. So yeah, that's it. And that QR code goes to the little page that we created, which has an FAQ with some of the most basic questions that someone might have. But if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you want to take a tour or any of that, let us know. We're located right off of I-85 on Beaver Ruin Road. If you know where the Social Security office is on Shackelford, we're the 4-story building right behind the Social Security office.
In a great part of town, and there's a lot, as you all, many of you are probably familiar, Corners Outreach has a number of nonprofit entities and agencies collaborating in the same building, which makes it really, really convenient and helpful for the clients in that community. So thank you, Tiffany, for sharing this information. Space is always a key thing. So let's, sorry, my cleaning staff is coming in to get my trash.
Jennifer has her hand up.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah, I just wondered if you talked to some of the other people that are already in the building. I know we have Viewpoint Health has lots of staff in there, but maybe looking for additional rental spaces at times or a partnership potentially. So I didn't know if you'd already spoken with people that are already in the building.
Interestingly enough, I did meet with Barbara on the Viewpoint staff last week, but we actually were talking about something else. I never mentioned the office space.
Yeah.
So yes, no, I didn't even think to ask her about the office space. Although we do rent out our group room on Sundays to another one of the churches that are inside the building. But I have not talked to all of the tenants.
Yeah, I just know sometimes we have special events, either with, I know we had our leadership graduation in that building. I know that sometimes some of the clinics have parties for family members at holiday time. So I would definitely, we've got 3 programs in that building. I would definitely reach out and talk to them, and I can help connect you if that would be helpful.
It would. Thank you. I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, 3 times the charm. Other questions for Tiffany? All right. Very good. Are there I have a few things to share from our end, but I'd love just to open the floor and see if there are other announcements and things that are going on in the community that you want to elevate and talk about.
Lisa Graham placed something in the chat. Lisa, did you want to come off of mute?
Yes, I can. I'm sorry. Sorry I'm unable to come off my camera today, but thank you for an opportunity to share. Again, my name is Lisa Graham. I'm a registered nurse and certified diabetes educator. And we have a lot of programs, of course, at no cost for the community where we provide free screenings, blood sugar and blood pressure. But we're really excited about partnering with Live to the Beat, which is what I dropped in the chat there. They have an educational series. It's about 8 different lessons, but each lesson is about maybe 5 to 8 minutes long about heart health. And if you go on and you can complete just one of the lessons, you can get a free premium membership coupon from MyFitnessPal. I've been in the diabetes space for over 20 years, and I've always used MyFitnessPal with a lot of my patients. But over the years, all the things that were free are now you have to pay for. So this is a great opportunity to try it out. When we think about making lifestyle changes, one of the things that we know is important is the consistency of tracking, some form of tracking. And that's what the MyFitnessPal gives you the ability to do. So they've told me pretty much it's not unlimited, but it'll go on beyond February. So please feel free to share, you all or share with your uh, clients, participants, because again, this is an opportunity for them to try it at no cost. And again, we're still at the beginning of the year, so all of those resolutions and things that we have in place to help and support those. So thank you again so much for opportunity to share.
Thank you. You are so right. Everything eventually turns to a fee subscription somehow, some way. So this is great to have a free resource for the community. I did prepare just a couple slides based on last month's feedback on funding. And so I thought I would, if I can share my screen, I will potentially, and I can share these in the chat as well afterwards. But these are just a few grant opportunities that I want to just call your attention to. They have been in our, can you see that? Grant opportunities with 3? Yep. Okay, thanks. They've been in the exchange as well, but sometimes I think we're flipping through the exchange so quickly that sometimes we don't always realize what's there. Now, a couple of these we're right up on the deadline. You may or may not be able to utilize them, but there's Department of Housing and Urban Development that's focused on ending youth homelessness and helping with effective practices. RBC Foundation is helping to drive more inclusive opportunities with prosperity and support. And then we've got the Community Foundation for Greater Atlanta that has their grants open right now. It's $100,000 over a 2-year period, focused on capacity building and technical assistance. So this is something that I think is near and dear to all of our hearts. I'm going to the next slide if I can. NEA Foundation is really focused if you're in the education space. This is for you. And then Homeless Veterans Reintegration Program. If you're dealing with veterans and who are at risk for homelessness, there's opportunities. That's a federal grant. Cigna Group has a grant for improving mental health and supporting nonprofits in underserved areas. So this, again, we've heard mental health a couple times on the call. So this is absolutely an area of priority. And that deadline is a little bit further out. And the next one is kind of a coalition opportunity if you're quarterbacking small businesses in building an ecosystem. This is a little bit outside of our scope, perhaps, but sometimes there's some interesting things going on in the community that we don't always know about, or somebody who does. And then our very own Community Foundation for Northeast Georgia, their grant cycle is open now, and their focus is on healthcare with an emphasis on mental health as well. Again, a key area of need in our community. And then Monkey Pod is a technology platform. Some of you might know of it. This is a more of a product grant with $1,000 cash. So if you've got some interest in that, they're looking for nonprofits who are supporting unhoused people. And there's a lot of that happening in this community. So I thought that might be an interesting thing too. And sometimes having technology and tools is as helpful as having cash. So those are a few grants that are open. And I would love to just allow Shannon Hervey to talk a little bit about our upcoming Resilient Gwinnett in Action Summit at the end of the month, because it ties directly into our focus in mental health and all the work that we're doing in our community. Many of us on this call are focused in that area. And so want to make sure that you're aware of this event that's coming up. It's our second annual, and we've got a really exciting set of people to bring information and learning to our community. So Shannon.
All right. Well, hello, friends. You all should be able to see my screen. I wanted to review with you, and I also placed it in the chat. But our page that is dedicated for all things Resilient Gwinnett in Action Summit that is coming up on March the 26th at 8 a.m. It is an all-day event, so we're going to make it worth your while. It is definitely going to be CEUs that we are offering for your professional development needs, as well as a lot of networking, a lot of space to interact, as well as to just have conversations with some of the experts and advocates that are going to be on site, all for the very low price of $40. So that will cover not only the networking and resource fair, but we will have specific breakout sessions that are geared towards our education, youth serving organizations, as well as the business community. The afternoon, we are really, really excited about because we are going to highlight one of the key problems that has not just been in Gwinnett County, but we're definitely feeling it in Gwinnett, and that is the focus that's going to be on the commercial sexual exploitation of children and human trafficking. So not just from an awareness standpoint, but also helping those that are in attendance to understand what they can do to help this problem to go away in our county. So from a prevention as well as a response lens, we're going to tackle that. And then if that wasn't enough, I didn't even mention lunch, but we're going to have a wonderful lunch. There will be a light breakfast. And then to end the day, we're going to have a closing wine reception. Okay. And so you can see here what our agenda looks like. And we're excited about the entire day, but from the time that it begins at the very top of the morning to the end of the afternoon, we have so much that is jam-packed into that I hope you all will use the link that I slid into the chat to just really kind of take a look at not only who will be there and who will be presenting, but what those topics are. So we feel that by the end, you all will walk away not only with an understanding of how to grow resiliency in Gwinnett, but then maybe even, okay, so what does this mean for me? Right? So not just that you'll get something from it professionally, but that you'll also be able to apply much of what you learn personally. All right. And so you can see here, I won't read to you all of the great folks that we have, but we have representation from CHOA to University of Georgia to Georgia State. We have practitioners that are psychologists, LPCs, and then for the afternoon, of course, we have our experts in the space of CSEC and human trafficking. So we'll have Chief Atwater from the Gwinnett Sheriff's Office, Pat McDonough, Faith Cadona from Street Grace, and Shakila Coleman from Grace's Place. So I will pause there to see if there are any questions. I mentioned CEUs. We are applying for CEUs that will benefit marriage and family therapists, social work, professional counselors, and we will also offer post hours for our law enforcement. So what questions do you all have? Oh, you know what I didn't mention?
What?
Is that if you would like to be a sponsor, then there's also an opportunity here. So registering as well as sponsoring, and with some of the sponsorship options, I believe with all of the sponsorship options, there is an opportunity for you to have a certain number of tickets to bring folks to participate. Okay. All right, I don't see any questions, so that means everyone is quiet because they're getting ready to register. So I look forward to seeing all of you in person on the 26th.
Going to be great. And thank you to Kaiser Permanente for being our presenting sponsor. They've come on board and they're super excited about this event. We are super excited to have them.
Yes.
And the 4 CEU offerings that Shannon is working on for this year are the same 4 that were offered last year. So we're excited to have that for everyone as well. So encourage your friends to sign up. We are excited about that day. Had a question, but it's specific to me. Oh, Jennifer. So Jennifer's emailing you, Shannon. Okay. What else is happening in our community? And what do you guys need help with? If not, I can throw out another question that is very specific. All right. So I just finished a meeting with Georgia Access. Do you guys know what Georgia Access is? Okay. So it is essentially our marketplace for health insurance. What used to be the exchange. And in 2024, Georgia brought this whole process back in-house. And in 2025, they funded it. And they're continuing to work on building the infrastructure. As you can imagine, it's a big thing to build in the state, to have your own exchange, your own marketplace for healthcare insurance. But that's what Georgia Access is. And so Shannon and I just met with one of the individuals who's leading the efforts. And we were just I went into it thinking Georgia Access and the marketplace are for individuals on the lower end of the income spectrum. And as it turns out, Georgia Access is really designed to hit that middle group of people who do not qualify for public assistance or maybe Medicaid or Medicare, but yet they can't afford their own insurance, or they don't have employer sponsored insurance. And it occurred to me that every time, September, October rolls around, I start having anxiety about our own insurance rates and our program that we're going to be able to offer to our employees, because we're a very small organization, as many nonprofits are in our community. And I was just curious to get a sense of what are some of the challenges or successes that you all have experienced in terms of managing or being part of leading or making some decisions around healthcare insurance for your employees. And I'm just wondering if Georgia Access may be able to fill some of the needs for our sector. And I'm asking the question without having all the information. We've only had our preliminary meeting, but we're going to be partnering with them in the coming weeks and months, we hope. And so what might that look like for our community? And how do we reach the individuals who do not have insurance? And that's about 17% of our population that's under or uninsured. So how could this possibly help us? And I was curious about your own experience as perhaps a nonprofit leader, a nonprofit employee, or any other way that you might come at this issue. Can I just hear some of your thoughts, maybe?
Well, I'm sorry.
Go for it, Tiffany. And I'll call on Christina next.
Oh, okay. No, I was just gonna say, I know this entire process was very frustrating for us this year because we have a small staff. We had a policy for the staff last year, and the rates just jumped so astronomically high this year that it really did take us a significant effort to be able to find something that was affordable, but it was still much less than we were able to actually offer them last year. So, the process in general was very frustrating
Yeah.
this year.
Other thoughts, Christina?
Yes, hi. Let me try to lower my hand now. I was gonna suggest the marketplace, Georgia Access, is one space where nonprofits that are small can access insurance benefits for their employees. But another option is if your organization is smaller than 50 employees, thinking about a PEO, which is a professional employer organization, and it's basically like a employment agreement with a larger consortium. So, like ADP is a PEO, TriNet. There are a lot of different options, and then that buys down the cost because you're in a bigger pool. And sometimes those are national pools, and PEOs, they really thrive on wanting to get your business in a package and a bundle. So they do payroll, they do tax, they do your compliance work, and then your benefits are bundled as a part of that. So every year when I'm at an organization and it's time for us to shop for benefits, I do some comparative analysis around PEOs. And there's a local PEO in Gwinnett County called Venture HR, and they are right in Duluth. And they reached out to me, but they are a private PEO, but they are also a global company as well. So I'll drop some information in the chat about PEOs in general. But I think when your organization is small and you're trying to scale to be able to offer some of the best benefits at the cheapest price, those have been solutions that I found to be effective in the past.
Thank you, Christina.
You.
We as well went to a PEO this past year. It's a Insperity is the name of ours, but that is an option. And I'm just thinking also about maybe some sort of educational session, that might have some of these offerings that nonprofit leaders could at least be exposed to and begin to think about maybe in advance of September and October when the anxiety begins to build. We would have done some research in advance of that. Other thoughts? If I could see, if you're willing to share, who on the call either provides insurance, whose organization on the call provides insurance to their employees, because I think there are also some that don't. Yeah, we do. So it's kind of a split. So I'm just thinking about back to that Georgia Access window, right? Like if they are helping those who are more like contractors and are not employed by organizations that have employee sponsored health plans. Maybe our sector is one of those too that might be a place to just educate along with PEOs and other. AFLAC is in the health insurance business as well. Okay. Any other thoughts on insurance? It's kind of a hodgepodge today. Anything goes. I can tell you next month, you can mark your calendars for the all call in March. We're going to have Georgia Center for Opportunity come and speak to us about the changing regulations as it relates to SNAP benefits and work requirements for Medicaid for this year. So evidently there's a lot of changes coming down the pipe. They have done a lot of work. They're big advocacy organization on behalf of children and families. And I think you'll really, if you don't know about the work that they're doing, you'll be happy that you're on the call to learn about that. They're doing some really good work. And then in April, we're going to feature the Building Babies Brains crew. So you might know that Kim Holland and a collaborative group of organizations are working on early learning in our community. They've been in this business for about 5 years, and they are doing just some fantastic work about educating our very youngest, because if you don't know, our brains are fully almost 90% formed by the age of 5 and 6. So if we're not getting those kiddos ready for school and helping them connect all of their neurological capabilities early on, we really are fighting an uphill battle once they get into school. So we're going to learn about how the work that they're doing, and then how you and the nonprofit sector can engage with them, because many of the clients that we're serving also have young ones at home, and you'll need to know and be able to help encourage them to participate in these activities. Yes, Christina, while we're in legislative session, we should be thinking about how to get information as a nonprofit sector for setting the tone for a unified agenda. That is a great call out, and it is on an aspirational list of to-dos. We serve as the Georgia affiliate for the National Council of Nonprofits, and we get a lot of the national work that's going on. Denise, I thought about you today when I was reading a report about how the administration is trying to terminate the CFC process, I guess. I'm not even sure what that acronym stands for, except for I know United Way is part of that consolidated or confederated giving process. And so, but sometimes everything at the federal level seems so far in terms of what we can do about it at the local level. But I'm serving this year on the Public Policy Committee with the Gwinnett Chamber. And so beginning to build those relationships with our legislators, I think that will be having those connections and relationships, and then being able to kind of formulate what our strategy might be as a nonprofit sector is exactly where we need to go, Christina. So thank you for putting that in words and helping us realize how important that's going to be in our future, I think. Any other thoughts? One new.
I just found an article on what you were just talking about, so I posted it there.
Yeah, thank you. I had something that I could not share, like big massive spreadsheet, but I do know it means, because United Way is its own entity, right? So there will be impacts for United Way, but more importantly, United Way gives distributions out to the community and local nonprofits. So that will be one of those cascading effects, right? That with lots of unintended consequences if they're successful in terminating that. So, all right. I think we'll just give you back 12 minutes, if that's all right. It was a really low-key day. I actually kind of enjoyed having not as much planned to talk about. And anytime you guys have ideas about the things that you want to address, we've got the rest of Q1 sort of lined up. Know that our May all call will be canceled because it's Memorial Day. And last year we moved the all call to the week before, but that did not work out so well. So we're not going to do that again. But June, July, the rest of the year, I would love to hear your thoughts on what you want to hear about and how we can bring information to you that is valuable and helps you do your work better. And Lisa, comment.
Just a quick question. I'm not sure if this is something that has been talked about, but is there a resource guide or place, like I see everyone here, but really understanding what everyone does in their organization. So I may not there, it may be there, I'm not aware of it. But I think that's really important when we talking about coming together and making sure that we're on page to be able to see who we need to connect with and all of
Yeah.
that. So I'm not sure if it's there, just asking.
So we have a nonprofit directory that's on the website. It's public facing. So maybe if I can ask Jesse to put the link in the chat, and if we have a minute, Lisa, I'm happy to stay on and show you how to use it too, even if we end the call early. But it has about 370, 380 nonprofits. It was kind of our first pass at trying to kind of get everyone to come and identify yourself as a nonprofit in Gwinnett and become part of this Gwinnett Nonprofit Coalition, which is essentially our capacity building pillar of work. And so you can search by name, you can search by keyword like maybe housing or food insecurity or utilities assistance, that kind of thing, and it will bring up a list of nonprofits. And it's not a perfect solution, but it's the first online open resource that we've had, to my knowledge. And so it is available to you and to everybody else in the community that needs to know who's out there. Part of the goal of having a directory, of course, is to help people connect with each other and understand that if there's somebody already doing a program that meets a need in your particular bubble of the world, that you can actually reach out to that nonprofit and learn more about it with the hope that, maybe we don't have to create a new program. Maybe we need to set the stage for a collaboration or a partnership and leveraging the expertise and the learnings of one nonprofit to another. And then also another one of my pet peeves is just nonprofits just proliferating and starting when individuals with passion and or resources and time could hitch their wagon to another one and really help accelerate the work that's already beginning to occur here, but just needs a little bit more investment. So there is a directory, and I hope you will use it. And I'm happy to stay on if you're available afterwards.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Yeah. And if you're not in the directory, as we learned earlier today, they're like, I don't think I'm in the directory. And then we were like, oh my gosh. So they will be added in the next day or two. So we did miss it. Any other good thoughts?
Can I ask Lisa a follow-up question? Because she mentioned a resource guide. And Lisa, were you interested in a resource guide specifically for Gwinnett? Because we also have the Child and Family Behavioral Health Resource Guide that is on our website. And so I can put that link in it if that would be of help to her as well.
Yeah, I think both of them, again, just other nonprofits. And we do a lot of we're monthly with cooperative ministries in Norcross. So we're there doing screenings and we're always encountering people that need so many services. So who are the nonprofits out there, as well as being able to connect them, since that is, we go across Metro Atlanta, but since that is, here central, of course, with in Gwinnett County, wanting to know on both sides, who else could I reach out to? And then also who can I share resources with people who may need them? Thank
Gotcha.
you.
So you can also sort by geography. So like Norcross, all the cities are identified, Gwinnett, maybe region and state, and even national, because of course United Way is sort of national in nature, Boys and Girls Club too. So as nonprofits provide their information to us via an application form, then the next step is for them to self-identify what are the areas of service, like what are you doing to help residents, and then where are you serving in terms of location, what languages do you speak. So there's a lot of information in there. It's not as pretty as we would like for it to be, but it's functional, if that makes sense.
Well, I think one of the things that you just said earlier too, Renee, is the fact of why reinvent the wheel. I've had so many interns that I'm like, can we put together a list? Can we? I'm like, but why do I have the working on that when we've already, can you go out and look for this and look for that? But if there's something that's there, let's just utilize what's there and I can put them on another task.
Yes, because and also what we have found is that print resources become outdated very quickly. And not that our directory is going to be perfect all the time either, but at least we'll kind of, periodically go back to the organizations and say, please update your information. Perhaps an executive director or CEO has changed roles, maybe you've moved, there's a new address. So it's going to take some effort for us to be on top of it, all of us really, but we really feel like it's a valuable service and one that is a really critical step in building and strengthening our ecosystem.
Yes. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And Christina, there are links in the chat. If you don't mind picking those up at the application that I said we'd send you, maybe you can just pull it down. Your last chance to think about things that we should talk about later in the year. Thank you, Tamika, for submitting your application. Okay. Lisa, do you want to stay online and do a little bit of a joint search?
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure that I got all the links that were here.
Yeah.
If I have I think I might be okay. Again, I'll make sure you get a little bit more time. I just pulled down the links that were here, so I thank you
Yeah, you're
so
welcome.
much for that.
Okay. Well, we can stay and chat about anything you want to, or if you are ready to go, feel free to drop off and we will see you next month at the same time, same bat channel. And we will look forward to hearing from the Georgia Center for Opportunity. That's on March 30th at 4 p.m. So I hope to see you then. And thanks for your conversation today. It was nice.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank
Yep.
you, Renee.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
Guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.